Energy is here to give you the edge this college tailgate season. Loaded with bold flavors, our powerful blend gives you the energy you need to push you beyond your limits. Tune in all season long with Monster, the energy drink of ESPN Radio College Football Tour. Power your performance with a drink that's as hungry for victory as you are. Crack open an ice-cold Monster and dominate your competition. Monster Energy. Unleash the beast. Grab yours today. It is Mason in Ireland on 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason in Ireland, the number one most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The number one most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. And we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason in Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
Yo, LA, y'all ready to do this again?
It's just a little while ago at Dodger Stadium. Ice Cube. Shay was out there. We should try to call Shay, yeah.
So Shay sent me a picture. He has you know how he likes to have those, the belts?
Yes.
He made a Dodger belt.
Did he really?
Yeah, he sent a picture. We got to get him here next week at some point. You're not here Monday and Tuesday.
Right.
So
but next week for sure.
Yeah.
I'm off Monday and Tuesday. Yeah, I was going to be off before this. It's my first. I've been taking a day off since August, dude. By the way, today's day is a Jim Beam Blue celebration day. Momo's hanging out. Morales has been all day, done a great job. Cappy was on this morning. Travis and DeMarco were out on the route. So was Bergman.
Yep.
We were all over it for you. Momo, you were over at NBA today.
Yeah,
I'm sure
I was
you
driving
were
in, listening to you
glued.
guys.
Were you listening?
I was listening.
Yeah, it was a great day.
I love Cappy shouting out all the cities.
Yeah.
You know, feeling you.
Bangor.
Bangor calls.
Tupelo.
Where are you from?
Yeah, Morales. Before you go, how many calls do you think that you took?
50 to 60.
50 to 60.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And by the way, if you were at the parade, if you were at the Dodger Stadium celebration, which I think is over now, right? Did they?
There's
wrap
still
up?
people
still
doing
hanging
like
out.
snow
They're not
angels
going
and the
anywhere.
confetti.
They're
Yeah.
milling around, but I think for the most part, the show over there is over. That means if you want to react to everything you were part of, everything you saw, 877-710-ESPN, 877-710-ESPN. Bergman's here, Momo's here. And we are here for a Jim Beam Blue celebration.
My feet hurt so badly.
Do they?
Right now.
I got a later start.
You did.
I got a later start.
You went 9:30 to 12:30. It was strong.
So here's what happened for me was that I am taking care of the house and the dogs right now.
all
Right.
by yourself.
All by myself.
Yeah, it's a
And
lot.
So I forgot to close the dogs into the house. So I got all
Yeah.
the way almost here, had to go back, get the dog doors put back on, get the dogs back in the house, and
Yeah.
then drove back.
I am also taking care of both of the dogs myself. My dogs being children.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we think of them the same way. I understand.
Yes, we do, actually.
And so, like, I didn't set my alarm because usually I set my alarm to make sure that Daniel gets up and gets to school on time.
Yes.
But he usually just wakes up, and Nevin's usually there, and I guess I just didn't set my alarm. So all of a sudden, at 7:20, we woke up, and he's got to be at school at 8.
Oh, boy.
And we were like, oh, we got to go. Let's get out of the house. I'm like, oh, my gosh, this is why mommy fails in the morning.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Mom fail.
Yeah.
But we got there in time.
Good.
Barely.
You got there. Right now, I feel like John Ireland right now because my
Yeah.
eyes just keep kind of closing.
Are they
Because I'm getting a
closing?
little
Yeah,
bit-
Yeah.
just
I'm
stay
getting a
away.
little tired. I'll
Stay-
stay awake.
I just went and got another coffee.
Right. I got in our next break. I'm going to get my
Yeah,
first
got
coffee.
another
Yeah.
coffee.
But yeah, I walked.
You guys, can you believe they just won the World Series?
Honestly, it still has a
Same.
dreamlike quality to it. Like
Yeah.
I know it happened, but it all feels like a blur right
Right.
now. Like even down to today, being part of that
Yeah.
mass of humanity with Angelinos from
Yeah.
all over the place. To be part of that, it just, you know what I love? It feels like you're part of something
Yes.
bigger.
Yeah.
It feels like you're an Angelino. It feels like this is a great day in this city
Yeah.
and a great day for bringing people together, especially when there's a lot of stuff out there. But in L.A., we're all Dodger fans.
Did you feel like I did that when you were in amongst all of those people? Everybody was so kind and so just generous.
Yes.
Like they wanted to just give you things, or they're walking around. Everybody was so nice. It just was. It was nice to see, especially after all the bad coverage that got around
Yeah.
because of 12 stupid people that got arrested.
Yeah.
Right.
That was more people out and all together, not one issue. Everybody was just having a great time.
So
it was
it's
wonderful.
also like something people can afford. Right?
True.
Like a lot of the games, like so many people wanted to go to the World Series games, and they were just astronomical prices.
Yep.
We couldn't get tickets. Really hard to get. This was like, and even the event at the stadium, super hard to get tickets. People were like reselling those for $700.
they were for sale.
$700.
$700 to get into the
cheapest
stadium.
that I saw was $700. My
Wow.
sister wanted to go, but we got stuck in the queue. We tried to see. It just didn't work.
Laura, you tried to get tickets
I tried
to the
to get
stadium,
tickets
right?
because of my sister.
Yeah.
'cause I knew she
all my
wanted
friends
to
tried
go.
and they couldn't get it.
Yeah, we got stuck on like the refresher thing.
Yeah, a lot of people got stuck. Bergman's phone is talking
Yeah,
back
what
to
was going on?
First,
but
first
yeah,
it was his computer, then it was his phone.
his phone, his computer. It's all right.
They're listening.
Anything goes
All
today.
I say when that happens is they're listening.
FF Friday, right?
Yeah, it
No,
is
but
Effort
this
Friday.
was like,
the ultimate.
If
Effort
you
Friday.
couldn't go to the stadium, you could go to the parade. The parade was free. All you had to do is get up early and avoid the traffic.
Okay,
Yes.
so the craziest thing for me, I mean, I saw a lot of things at the parade, and there was a lot of beautiful moments, to Greg's point. But because I was next to the KTLA van, and they put the camera and like cheer, the amount of people that would duck when the camera would get to them was insane.
Why would they duck?
Playing
Because
hooky
they were
from
supposed-
work.
Oh,
Yes,
because
yeah.
that's exactly
come on.
why.
If you weren't at
Trust
work today,
me.
believe me, your boss knows why.
Like, it was
Your
the
boss
funniest
knows why you
thing.
weren't at work.
One guy was talking to me when he's like, I was in the bathroom, and this one guy was walking around saying, "I'm getting fired today."
Yeah.
It was hilarious. The two girls. So when I did my hit with Chris, I was like, "Dodger fans, where you at?" Blah, whatever.
Wow.
Everybody cheered. And then the two girls were like, "Wait, that wasn't on camera, right? Because I'm not trying to get fired." It was hilarious.
Yeah, but I think everybody was calling out sick today or just saying, like, I'm going to work from home. They're probably on their phone, like, pretending to check in. Right?
Yeah, right.
And,
Right.
by the way, there was other things that happened last night. It was Halloween.
Oh,
Yes, it
I
was.
forgot about that.
Yeah, so, like, some school districts don't have school the
Right,
day
I
after
heard
Halloween.
like Long Beach doesn't have
Yeah.
school
Uh,
today. A lot of people don't
the
have school
Las
today.
Virgenes out in Ventura County doesn't have school, and, like, LAUSD has school. So my kid was there. We barely made it on time.
I thought people were playing hooky because I saw so
Yeah.
many kids today. I was
Yeah,
like, man, like
there
if
were
I
a
had
lot of
kids,
kids.
there was
And-
a lot of kids.
And it's funny. I was talking. There's a guy with must have been like a 3 or 4 year old daughter on his shoulders, and he was talking to her and said, "You got to remember this.
Yeah.
Remember this." And it reminded me of when I was a little kid. Man got to the moon. And my mom and dad
Wow.
were in San Francisco, and Mrs. Demerly, we were staying at her house,
Yep.
and Mrs. Demerly sat us down in front of the TV and said, "You have to remember this. This is when we walked on the moon." And this
Wow.
is the exact
Core memory.
It has
Cool.
been a long time. Bore that memory in and save it, because
Yeah.
you never know when this is going to come around again.
That's-
I know Mookie's talking about 5 and 6. And look, let's
Just
be happy
enjoy
with
this
one
one.
for
Right.
right now. Yeah.
It was 5 years before that, and for a parade, what was it? 36 years since we've last seen it, something like
Yep.
that.
Yep.
So yeah, it doesn't come around
88,
every day.
baby.
Doesn't come around every day, and the amount of kids I saw on people's shoulders, like,
Yeah.
those are good parents. Take them to
Yeah,
see
it
this
was a
stuff.
good.
Like I feel very honored that I even got to go to one of the games because there was only 2 games in LA,
Same.
right?
Right.
Same.
And I also felt like
You were at game 2, right?
game 2.
Yeah.
And I also felt really proud of myself as a parent that I had Daniel stay up late to watch Freddie's home run. Like he's 6, he'll remember.
In game 1?
In game 1.
You kept him up to
Yeah.
watch game 1,
It wasn't
Freddie?
that late because the game started at 5, so it was like probably 8:30, 8:37
Yeah, right. It wasn't
or
super
something,
late,
right? It wasn't
yeah.
that same. It was the same minute that Gibby hit his home run.
Yeah,
8:30. Because
8:37.
I remember Gibson's home run. I was 9.
Yeah.
I was 9 in 1888. And I remember watching Gibson's home run. I remember Vin's call. It's like this core baseball memory for me. And now I did that for my son. Like he was there when Freddie hit the grand slam.
It does feel,
so cool.
as we talked to people about Fernando Valenzuela, and
Yeah.
there were a ton of Valenzuela jerseys out there, it feels,
Yeah.
felt kind of ordained that this would be the parade day, that Fernando Valenzuela's birthday would be where everybody landed today.
And it's so much better
Yeah.
than it being. You didn't want if you won on Game 6. If there was a game tonight and we won, yes, that would have been as amazing. Also, this felt better because the entire city could then say, "This is Fernando's birthday."
Yeah.
We get to see all. It was better this way.
Also, can we just say this was so much better than 2020?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
no.
like
it's
LA
better,
deserves
definitely.
this.
But
They
I mean-
deserve
but
it,
I
man.
don't begrudge 2020.
No, I don't, but-
still totally defend its legitimacy,
too.
but this is better.
You were also there in 2020.
I was there in
I was in
2020,
LA
yeah.
in 2020,
Me too,
and I
man.
remember being so sad. Like first of all, I was at home with my back injury, so I was like sad girl,
Yep.
right? And then nobody was out. We heard a few fireworks. It was like kind of the height of the pandemic.
Yep.
Like, were we still on lockdown? I don't even think people were back in school
No,
yet.
they were not. I mean,
No.
there were like, a couple of thousand people in that
Yeah.
whole stadium, all separated and
Yeah.
masked and all that stuff.
Yeah,
That was the year that it was all the kids were at homeschooled.
yeah.
You were doing
Yeah.
it through Zoom.
Yeah, and it
Everything
was
Zoom.
so sad. Like nobody, like if you win a World Series in a pandemic and no one's there to cheer it, did it really happen? Like now you see what it's like when you win a World Series.
Right. And I think, by the way, there was so much pent up energy
Yes.
here. So many people are like waiting because if you go
Yeah.
back and look at it, we had the Rams. Before that, we had the Lakers in 2010. I was going back and thinking,
Yeah.
Momo, tell me if I have this right. The 2009 Lakers parade ended at the Coliseum.
That's correct.
Okay.
I was there. I remember being there. For that.
We were there as well.
It's crazy.
Ireland and I broadcast from the field on that
that's
day.
Yep.
They put a basketball court in.
Yep.
It was really cool.
I remember getting there. Like that was the day I took MetroLink because it was like the whole. I don't think I've seen that many people ever in Los Angeles.
And-
like it was because they filled the Coliseum.
They filled the Coliseum. And 2010, there was no destination.
Yeah.
It was a parade. I think it was just City Hall. They
just
did
walked
not go
around,
to the
yeah.
Wait,
Coliseum.
so it just went through? They didn't stop and talk and have a whole...
They had a thing at City Hall where they
Yeah.
had a big stage thing, and
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
where they did it. They didn't do it at the Coliseum like they did the year before.
This was really well done. Like this
was.
gave everybody a chance to go to the parade, but then also a nice thing to go to at the stadium. And so you got two opportunities to see the team.
Right.
One where you got this special intimate thing. I mean, how Dave Roberts dancing, Clayton Kershaw. Oh,
I know.
Crying.
I got like
Clayton
misty
Kershaw.
watching that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was him. Who else? There was somebody else that was crying.
Oh,
really
Teo.
quick. Teo
Oh.
could
Teo
barely
was very
contain himself.
emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because you got to think about it. He may not be back here
Yeah.
next year.
Possible, yeah.
He's sitting here. He's been talking about all year long how he loves this city. He came here to win. He got it done. And now he may not come back. You could tell how much the city loved him. I walked around and talked to like Teoscar Hernandez fans.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they're like, "Oh, he means so much to us." So I hope he comes back, but I understand why he was
I
crying.
think he meant a lot to the clubhouse too.
He did.
Yeah,
Oh, massive
for sure.
piece.
You know, him and Miggy Rowe and I think those two guys really and Kike, I think really changed
Yeah.
that clubhouse
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah, and some of these guys, I mean, I don't want to think too far ahead, but Kike. I mean, don't you got to find a way to bring Kike
How
back?
can they not bring Kike back?
Yeah. I
Like-
mean,
Just for the postseason.
Just for the postseason.
He's like the Robert Horry of baseball.
He honestly, that's an
great
interesting
comparison.
explanation, and I think it's true.
Yeah.
I think it's true. Momo, you would know this. You were an athlete.
Once upon a time.
Is
Yeah.
clutch a learned skill? Clutchness.
No. You just have it or you don't.
See, now I think it's a habit.
Okay.
I
habit.
think
I like that.
when it happens once, you're like, you get that little bit of confidence, like I'm that guy, and then it happens again. You're like, I'm really that guy, and then all of a sudden you're that guy.
It's also I think there's certain people who are wired like for that moment. Like we talked about Walker Buehler.
Yeah.
That dude is just a clutch performer.
Big game.
Big game, Walker Buehler. I mean, that whole thing about the cold, whatever. I sent you guys that thing. I don't know if you got any reception, but where
Was that the?
Oral Hershiser thing.
Oh
how
yeah, he's
he
wearing
asked
the
for his
Oral
jersey.
Hershiser jersey, right?
And that's how I felt about Oral that year. I mean, Oral had the scoreless inning streak,
it's
etc.
amazing that year,
I mean,
yeah.
obviously they kind of look alike. You know, I would give Walker the edge if we're doing rating or something
Mm-hmm.
side by side. But like they have a look, you know, to
Yeah.
them, and they're both skinny guys, you know, etc. And I just thought Walker. He just has that. Like, he's born with that. Whatever that is, I don't think he taught himself to be clutch. I think he just finds a way to slow himself down in those moments. But it's also belief, like what you said.
Yeah.
It's a self-concept. If you believe that you are a clutch player, then you're a clutch player.
Yeah.
By the way,
Yeah.
that jersey that he was wearing of Oral Hershiser in '88, he was taking a beer bong with it on. So, you know,
Yeah.
it might not be clean anymore. is
That's
all
all
I'm
right.
trying to say.
That's all right.
Yeah, but think about it. That's enhancing the value.
Right.
You're a
Now it's
memorabilia
been worn
dealer.
at 2 World Series
Well, Oral's
parades.
probably like, man, I got to take that back. I got to put it back on my wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, right.
And I got to go to dry clean.
Yeah. What a day. What
That's
a
like,
day.
do you dry clean it?
I mean, what else do you do? You don't put it in the
I don't know,
wash.
like,
I
I
don't
didn't-
know. Do you
like-
put a jersey in the wash? I don't think.
I don't
Well,
think
they
so. No,
probably
but-
do it at
but
the
do you just
stadium, don't
even
they? They
clean
don't
it?
dry clean at the
guess.
I think
stadium.
I want to leave it with the grass stains on and all the beer stains on. Like, it's like my wedding dress. I just
You had beer
Probably
stains on
doesn't-
your
no,
wedding
no,
dress?
I'm just saying I didn't
Oh,
like
I was
dry
gonna
clean it.
say,
'Cause
I
was
thought
like,
you were
I wanted
having
to
talking about having
smell
beer
like
stains.
my wedding, you know?
Yeah.
So after, do you still have your wedding
Yeah.
dress? Oh, yeah, nice.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is, but it's in the
I'm sure
closet
It smells
someplace.
nice.
You
wherever
stored it.
It smells like wedding.
You've stored it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get some calls in. Laura, go. Let's open the phones. 877-710-ESPN. 877-710-ESPN. What was your parade experience like? What was it like working at home? Did your boss actually not let you off work today? So we were the source for all of your parade news. 877-710-ESPN. What does celebrating a Dodgers World Championship and Jim Beam have in common? Both are better when enjoyed with others. Jim Beam, official bourbon of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Kentucky Straight Bourbon, whiskey, 40% alcohol. Yeah,
You got it.
40%
40% alcohol.
Can we edit this out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume. Copyright 2024. James B. Beam Distilling Company. Kentucky Drink Smart.
You got it.
It
Nailed it.
wasn't even
It's a
right
it's
at
hard
the
read.
end.
You've never seen it before.
I've
It's the
never
first time.
seen it. It's cold read.
Yeah.
Turn
There's
page.
a lot of P's and B's.
You didn't read turn page.
Right.
So good for you.
Yesterday, Bergman ran a, what was it?
It was a
Repeat
prize
slogan.
Yeah.
Straight up Anchorman.
You've done it before, too.
I've done. It's a bad script. I'm telling you. Whenever I
It's
do
right here.
something
Yeah,
wrong,
I
it's
know.
bad.
It's-
The script is
it's the
bad.
script.
It says, you
I got
read
it.
it,
Let me
and then it
try.
says, oh.
Oh yeah. Go ahead, read it.
Download the app today and use code 710 to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Repeat offer and promo code. It is highly encouraged to voice.
Repeat offer and
You're
promo
right.
code.
It just flows into reading
It
it.
does. It does. Yeah.
All right. So
Okay.
we've all screwed that up. Mason in Ireland. Momo's here. Bergman's here. It's a celebration Friday. 710 ESPN.
All right, guys, it is a Celebration Friday, but did you know that your zip code can determine your health? Some neighborhoods lack fresh food, while others have weekly farmers markets. Some areas have plenty of doctors, while others face long waits for basic care. Rising costs hit communities harder than others. Some struggle with monthly rent, others struggle with paying for medication. But your vote can change this. When you vote, you're just not filling out a ballot. You are fighting for better health care access in your neighborhood. You're standing up against inflation that's pricing out families out of their homes. You're demanding affordable health care for all. Your zip code should not determine your health. Your vote should. Vote by mail, use a ballot drop box, or visit a voting center in person. Remember, in this election, you're not just voting for a candidate. You're voting for our health, the health of our families, and the health of our community. For more information, visit myvotemyhealth.org.
Most followed sports radio station in America.
710 ESPN.
At ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch.
LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
Hey guys, it's Cappy here, and let me talk to you about this issue of dealing with your homeowner's insurance. So your home floods, right? You have a big giant flood at your house, and you realize that the insurance adjuster is trying to pay you so little that you won't be able to repair the damage. That is when you call Avner Gatt. Avner Gatt is a public insurance adjuster who is on your side. Look, you can try and negotiate with the insurance company yourself. I've tried. You're going to find out very quickly it is not that simple. Avner Gatt and his team negotiate on your behalf to make sure you're getting the best possible outcome, not the insurance company. He and his team have been dealing with insurance companies for so many years. It's all they do. They've got the experience. They've got the industry know-how that you need on your side. Now, some of these folks used to work for insurance companies before they joined Avner's team, and Avner Gatt himself has 20 years of experience in this industry. Avner Gatt has one of the largest teams of professional, licensed public adjusters in California, and yes, the size is important. Avner has a unique winning recipe for handling homeowners' insurance claims. No one, and I mean no one, messes around with Avner Gatt and his team. Call Avner Gatt, 818-917-5256, 818-917-5256, or visit AvnerGatt.com. That's AVNERGAT, AvnerGatt.com. You call Avner Gatt, 818-917-5256. Avner takes the call himself. Hello!
Gear up and get out to Kelsey's at Pachanga, the top spot in the Temecula Valley to watch all the Monday Night Football action. Dozens of TVs means all your favorite games, plus a M&F food menu fit for the greatest fans. Sliders, loaded tater tots, pulled pork pizza, and a lot more. Plus, you'll find beers on tap and incredible craft cocktails at Kelsey's. Visit Pachanga.com and follow at Pachanga Casino on Instagram for info about special and exclusive NFL team appearances. We'll see you at Kelsey's at Pachanga.
Hey guys, it's producer Lindsay. Listen up, sports fans. Gear up for your next game day hang with your friends. What's on the menu? Sliders, wings, chips, and salsa? Well, all your favorite game day foods go great with Stella Rosa wines, a semi-sweet and semi-sparkling wine that must be served chilled. Stella Rosa can be found at your local retailer, so remember to grab a couple bottles next time you shop. Nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. Please celebrate responsibly.
Choosing the right candidates for any office can be difficult.
My office has lots of drama.
My office has its ups and downs.
I share my office. But no matter what kind of office you have, one thing's for certain. If you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the most qualified candidates for your roles fast, and you can invite your top choices to apply. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So, for any kind of office.
I'm really going places in my office.
My office has everything you could ever want.
Count on ZipRecruiter to find the right candidates for it. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It is Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. And we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
Who doesn't love a parade? They have wrapped things up now at Dodger Stadium. The Los Angeles Dodgers made their way through downtown Los Angeles, and we were all over the parade route for you. This is our Jim Beam Blue Celebration Friday, and Bergman, you were out there. Travis and DeMarco were out there. I heard Laura out there. We were in the middle of it, and to be in the middle of it was actually really cool. And I didn't have a great view of the trucks when they went by or anything, but it was about being together. It was about everybody being together and everybody being part of something larger than themselves.
So I have never been to a parade before. I never went to the one in 2009 or 2010 for the Lakers or any Laker parade ever.
Right.
I was too young for the Dodgers parade in 1988.
Sure.
But this was an amazing experience. I've never seen anything like it before with the amount of people that are there, how excited everybody was, how nice everybody was, just enjoying being amongst everybody in itself. I thought that it was just an incredible experience that I'm never, ever, ever going to forget.
Yeah, and I have not seen any estimates on how many people. They were expecting 150,000. But I would imagine, to me, it seems like more people. I mean, I was 100 rows deep.
Yeah,
Wow.
you had to be, and if you just look on the TV screen,
You were 100 rows deep?
Yeah. I mean, it was just a massive
Where
humanity.
were you mostly standing?
I was mostly standing 100 rows deep.
No, like where? Like what street? Like what?
Oh, I was right.
Fifth and Fig?
Fifth and Fig, yeah.
Fifth and Fig,
Yeah.
okay.
And it was packed. And by the way, and thank God, there were people like hoisting each other on the top of buildings and all kinds of
Oh my
stuff.
God.
Yeah,
Everybody's
light poles.
light poles. Yeah.
What time did people get there in the morning to line up?
Oh,
So
they
I
were there
asked people
early.
that. I asked a
Yeah.
bunch of people that, and they were there anywhere from 6 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock. It was for the most part people. When we got up there, Travis, DeMarco, and I all walked up at the same time with Graham and Lucas on the social team and a couple of the interns, and it was packed by the time we got up there. It had to have been 8 o'clock, 7:30. 7:45.
Right.
Yeah,
And it was already packed.
It was already full up.
Yeah.
Full up.
Yeah. It's incredible. It's incredible.
And that's at the morning after Halloween.
right.
Like when everyone was out late last night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although I don't know. I wrapped
Halloween
up
kind of ends early.
like
doesn't it?
8:30, yeah.
8:30, 9
Like
o'clock,
sometimes
they're
you
done.
get like some teenagers come by like 9:30 and you're like, yo, come on, man.
Yeah, I got no
My lights are off, man.
I got no trick-or-treaters as usual.
Well, you have a big fence.
The coyote rollers.
The coyote rollers.
He called them
keep
the Morales
everybody out.
rollers.
And then
The
you said it's
Morales
like the gates
rollers.
of heaven.
Yeah, the gates of heaven, exactly. I do have gates of
Well,
heaven right
there's
there.
a gate that you have to walk through.
Correct.
Do you get coyotes in Venice?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they live up by the baseball field.
Oh,
Yeah, they hide out there. So we do have coyote rollers, which double as Morales rollers. There's no way he can get in and get into our jacuzzi.
He's trying.
He's trying. Let's go to Alex. Hey, Alex and Whittier, what's happening, man?
Woo! Let's go, Dodgers! Big shout out to everyone who showed up and showed out today. It was awesome. Great time, party, everybody on the street singing, dancing, drinking, smoking. It was awesome.
Yeah, Alex, where were you for the parade? Whereabouts on the route?
We were near the CBS too, kind of. It was on Grand, I think.
Okay, got it.
We just kept walking up. I caught G. Bergman on the streets doing his thing with his little crew.
That's right.
He was trying to get an interview. It was dope.
Did I interview
Big
you?
Shout outs to Greg for taking some time out and talking with me for a bit.
Oh, there you
awesome.
go.
Absolutely.
Very nice.
Did
Very
we have
nice,
a?
Alex.
Did we have a? Did I
Meeting
interview
my
you?
daughter, it was great. Everything was dope. It was beautiful to see all that Dodger blue on the street.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Everybody was happy. It was a beautiful sight to see Los Angeles come together. We've been waiting for this for so long, so many years. And this is just the first of many, bro. The first of many.
First of many.
Go.
I like that attitude. First of many. I think Mookie Betts at some point said, I've got like 9 years left on my contract, and I want to get...
9 years
is
left?
Is that true? Didn't he
That's
say he has
amazing.
9
Well, he
left
had
on
a
his contract?
12-year
He had
contract.
12, Mookie. And he said, and I want to win 5 or 6 more.
That's awesome.
And let's hope so.
Yeah, let's hope so.
It was in a 12-year contract. It ends in 32. So yeah, he's got 6, 7, 8.
Wow.
6, 7, 8.
Have you guys?
6, 7, and 8.
Did you actually make it through
I'm tired,
a
man.
lot of the Freddie Freeman article yesterday from Jeff Passan?
I did not make it through a lot. I know that the rib thing was like...
Yeah, try to read it when you have like this weekend when you're just sitting around.
Right.
Print it out. It's like 5,500 words. It's a lot.
Okay. How many words is that? 5,500. How long will that take me to actually read?
I think 30 minutes.
30.
That's a 30-minute read.
Minutes.
For
How do I
55
carve out
You
30
can do
minutes?
that. You read books. You read
All right.
whole books.
I have read a book.
You've read many books. I know you. You go on vacation and read books.
I
Okay.
did see the part that said he had a broken finger. He
Yeah.
had broken ribs. He had rib cartilage.
Torn
and
rib
his
cartilage or
ankle was all
something?
busted.
The thing that that's all. That all of it's great. They have amazing details there and kind of how he found out, and then he decided to play through it. And he said it hurts the most when I miss, so I better just stop missing. Right? That was great.
Yep.
But they also he and his wife both talked to Jeff Passan about what happened with his son this year, and one of the things they said, which it struck with me, was you just have to make it through segments of the day. Like first, let's make it through the morning.
Yep.
Then let's make it through the afternoon. Then let's make it through the evening. And then because you can't even fathom how you're going to make it through a whole day when you're going
Right.
through something like that. So you just make it through parts of the day. And I got like emotional as a parent just thinking about that.
Yeah.
But like this guy went through that this year and somehow got himself together to play baseball again. Then and the game where they clinched the division, turns his ankle so bad he should probably be out 6 months or 6 weeks. Then starts to swing again and breaks his rib during batting practice. Feels a twinge during batting practice and comes back. And you just kind of think like, well, we're all talking about win more. But like, if there's not a testament to staying in the moment, and that's Freddie, man.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know. Like, you come back, all right, let's get through the day. Let's get through, like, come back. And now he's got, and then last night, the post I saw was from winning the World Series one night to taking your kids trick-or-treating the next night.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That's amazing.
Why didn't we hear anything about the rib cartilage?
Because he didn't want anyone to know.
Yeah.
No, he didn't want anyone to know because he felt like him just being in the lineup was important, just like Shohei being in the lineup is intimidating to the other team. And so him being in the lineup would be intimidating to the Padres. Remember that series was close.
So you felt like he thought I'm kind of a decoy here?
Yeah, he was.
Because I do think Shohei was a decoy.
Yeah, I do
was
too.
Freddie any good against I don't remember.
No, he wasn't that good against
Padres.
He couldn't run. Remember, they had to take him out of games.
That's right. He didn't play all the games.
He didn't play the potential elimination game. He didn't play game 4.
Yeah, that's right.
And so he had to, because he really could not run at all. And he was a liability at that point. Same thing with Rojas, right?
Yeah.
And so they just really had to trust that their teammates would get that done.
You know, I think the Dodgers, I think, benefited from a really tough series against San Diego.
I do too.
Absolutely.
And a tough year.
Being down 2-1 and scrapping back, I felt once they did that it would open up for them, and sure enough, it did. I said all along I thought the Padres were the second best team in baseball.
I do too.
They were great, and they took them to the wire and found a way to win, and that energy, I think, is what carried them the rest of the way.
The other thing I thought they did differently this year is, that 5-day break that you have between the regular season and the start of the DS?
Yes.
So in years past, they have kind of gotten cold. And that's why you lose in the DS is because you're playing the wild card team that just won a 3-game series.
Yep.
They got hot enough to win the series, and you've been sitting around waiting for yours to start.
Yep.
Well, this year, they did something totally different. Like, instead of just taking the time off and everybody use some time to see your families before we go on this run, Max Muncy was saying they spent 8 hours at the ballpark every day, and they committed to each other. They just said, we're going to keep this going. And they didn't necessarily just work out or anything. They just hung out. They were like they got their work in.
Right.
But they just stayed together for those 8 hours, like to keep the camaraderie in the clubhouse going.
Yeah.
And they looked at that 5 days as a reward rather than we don't get tight. Hope we don't get cold. They're going to come in hot. Like there's this, the last few years, the winners of the winners of the wild card game have taken out the top seeds, and the Dodgers finally got that right this year.
Right.
This was the first year that a team in the National League actually made it to the championship series since they started doing this format. And then to win it all, it just was fantastic.
All right. Ireland's going to join us from Toronto next as we continue to cover Celebration Friday here in Los Angeles. In the meantime, there is now a better way to play daily fantasy. This is my official fantasy app. It's Sleeper. You name the game, NFL, NBA, pick a player, then take a shot over, under. Sleeper is a killer app. Once you try it, you will never go back to the others. And right now, you can download the Sleeper app, use code 710. They are going to triple the money up to $100. Again, download the Sleeper app, use code 710. They triple the money up to $100. They are the only daily fantasy sports app that I use. Do me a favor, download the Sleeper app. Thank me later. Sleeper, it's the better way to play daily fantasy. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Congratulations, Los Angeles! World Series champions! Get to Dick's Sporting Goods for a huge selection of officially licensed Los Angeles Dodgers gear, including hats, t-shirts, hoodies, and more for the whole family. So get to Dick's Sporting Goods now for the best selection of officially licensed apparel and accessories in town. We have everything you need to show off your team pride. Shop in store or online at Dicks.com. Every season starts at Dick's.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
Big news, Rams fans. Your favorite team added some new personnel. I'll cue up the announcement. Here we go. With the next pick in the NFL draft, the Los Angeles Rams have chosen Jacob and Ronnie as their chosen legal partner. That's right. The Rams decided to call Jacob. So remember, Rams fans, when you're injured, call the chosen legal partner of your favorite NFL team. Call Jacob.
Call Jacob.
Milkshake, prime ribs, chicken and waffles. Well, I was dreaming I was dressed as all the food items at the marketplace. And now the top reasons to visit Morongo.
The marketplace makes dreams come true, so long as your dreams are of eating delicious food, not actually being the food. Duh.
Number 2.
Order your Thanksgiving feast to go starting November 4th.
And the number 1 reason.
Music Soul Child, live November 15th. Get tickets now.
Morongo, good times.
Score a win with Amazon Pickup, the MVP of package pickup options. Amazon Pickup is a convenient and secure way to collect your Amazon packages from locations that are near you. Choose an Amazon locker or counter. Whether you're hustling between home, work, or your usual game day spots, grab your packages on your schedule. Amazon Pickup is the worry-free option for the times when home delivery isn't ideal. To find your nearest Amazon Pickup location, go to amazon.com/pickupmvp. That's amazon.com/pickupmvp.
It's time for your LAFC preview, where we take a quick look at this week's matchups and news around your Los Angeles Football Club. Powered by Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
A playoff run has begun for the Black and Gold as LAFC took care of Game 1 in the best-of-3 series versus Vancouver with a 2-1 win last Sunday. That's now 7 straight wins across all competitions. LAFC defender Aaron Long told me they're flying into Game 2 with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, it's high. We know when we're at our best, we're hard to beat. So we definitely want to carry that momentum now to the away game and hopefully close out the series in 2.
LAFC are in Vancouver this Sunday with a chance to knock out the Whitecaps with a win and advance to the Western Conference semifinals. Pregame gets going at 5 p.m. on the ESPN LA app and on 710 ESPN after Rams Seahawks.
And that's your LAFC weekly preview, powered by Valvoline Instant Oil Change, home of the 15-minute drive-through oil change. Visit SoCalOilChange.com for locations and coupons off your next oil change. Go black and gold.
It is Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. And we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
And we are joined now. It's me, it's Momo, it's Bergman. It's an official celebration. Friday, the Dodgers are world champions, and this is a Jim Beam Blue celebration day. And joining us right now from Toronto is Ireland. Ireland, what's going on, man?
So how was the parade, Mace? Notice how I used 2 syllables. How was it?
You said it the real way. It was spectacular, John. It was.
What time did you get there?
I didn't get to the parade route until about 9:30 or so, and I was at the very end of the parade route. And I'm telling you, and I'm not kidding, I was 100 rows deep. It was so packed. I was 100 rows deep. There were so many fans out there. It was a sea of humanity, and it was a beautiful day for the city to really come together. Bergman was in the middle of all of it, too.
Oh, yeah. I was there throughout.
Greg, what time did you get there?
I got there about 7:30, 7:45, and then got back here.
Were there already people there?
It was packed full at that point already, John. It was nuts. And people were already drinking, having a good time. It was great.
I always say that days like this are my favorite days of the year because, I've actually, Mace, you and I have covered some Laker parades, and I've been in a couple of Laker parades where they let me ride on the floats.
Were you in the 2010 parade?
Yeah, well, that's how I got to you. Remember, we ended up doing that show. That's when we were in the Coliseum, right?
No, 2009 was the Coliseum. That was the year that we were about to get the rights. So we were on the field at the Coliseum. Then the next year, I think, was City Hall, the 2010 year, right?
Right. Both years, they let me. I know all the security guys, and they let me go on the float because, frankly, it was amazing. It was the only way I could get from one end of the city to the other. Every street was closed.
Yeah. So who were you with up there?
Just like 3 or 4 players, a bunch of staff. It was really fun.
That's
awesome.
But the thing I learned that day was just looking out, and I'm sure you guys noticed this today. It's a sea of faces.
Yep.
And it were people I hadn't seen before. It's all these people who can't necessarily afford to go to a game or don't have the time to go to a game, and this is their day.
Yep.
They all show up and support the Lakers or the Dodgers in this case because they can. And I love the fact that parents are pulling kids out of school.
Yeah.
Because as my favorite line, Mace, don't let school interfere with your education.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if today your choice was go to the Dodger parade or go to your 5th grade class, I hope you went to the Dodger parade.
Yeah, I'll tell you, there are a lot of, I mentioned earlier, there was a dad saying to his daughter, remember this, remember this, remember this. And she's probably like 5 years old, and I think she's going to remember it. The fact that he pointed it out, I mean, remember that day. And you know what? I was saying to people, too, look, Mookie Betts just said, 5, 6, 7. You know what? You just don't know when this is going to come around again. So you got to enjoy it.
This is the first parade since 1988 for the Dodgers.
Right. So
none of the guys on the current team were even born. It's pretty amazing. And the fact that they could do it again. I mean, they have a really good team loaded and coming back doesn't mean that it will automatically happen again. Stuff happened. Remember that team that had Steve Nash and Dwight Howard and Pau
they were
Gasol
a lock.
and Kobe Bryant, and 40 of 44 ESPN experts picked them to win the title and they finished 7th.
Yes.
You just never know.
Don't know.
I'm glad a lot of people are taking the opportunity to participate today.
Yes.
So, John, remember when Shohei got signed, that $700 million contract, we said, no, he has to get 3. He has to get 3. I think I'm changing my mind on that. He got the 1. I'm happy that he got the 1. It is a success already just by him having that 1. Do you agree with that or no? You need the 3.
I do. I think that a title, everything you debate, signings, trades, all of it. If you win the title, then it worked. Because it's so hard to win a title. And, a lot of people say, remember everybody ripped the Dodgers or ripped the Lakers for giving up so much in the Anthony Davis trade?
Right.
But his first year, they won the title.
Yes.
Yeah. So it worked.
Yeah, it's completely – yeah, I mean, if every move through the season and through this offseason was validated. And, by the way, there's some of these guys, like Tommy Edman. Who was
back
acquired at the trade deadline. And back next year is Kopech, who was acquired at the trade. Flaherty, who was acquired at the trade. He gave us a good inning in the third in Game 5.
But he was great in Game 1.
Yeah, he was fantastic in Game 1. Absolutely fantastic. And
Game 1 provided the signature moment. So
correct.
Flaherty is an answer to a trivia question.
And by the way, and I'm flipping through. if you go down and you look through the Dodgers 40-man roster, there are so many guys that didn't get to participate this year because they were injured. Who will be guys like Gavin Stone and Emmett Sheehan and River Ryan and Dustin May,
Tony
Gonsolin. Obviously, Glasnow will be back. They have all these guys coming back.
But what do you think Kershaw does?
I think he plays again.
Yeah.
I do. I think he doesn't want to go out like this. I mean, I know he cried and said he's been waiting his whole life for this moment, and I thought his celebration was really touching.
Yes.
But he wants to he wants to contribute. He wants to do something,
Yeah, how great was it that Freddie Freeman walked into Dodger Stadium holding his son?
Yeah, so
the
cool.
one that's had all the trouble.
So cool.
There's no downside to Kershaw coming back next year. He's not going to pitch in the postseason. He's going to pitch in the regular season. Whatever he does, cool, great.
He could pitch in the postseason if he's healthy, but you wouldn't count on him.
Yeah, that's what you don't want with all those people, all those pitchers coming back.
Well, I mean, who knows at this point? Who knows? I mean, at some point he will be back. I think he was very emotional today on stage, even though he was obviously not active for this playoff run. But I go back. I go back to he did not get a parade after 2020 when he was 2-0 in the World Series.
Yeah,
so
that's a good point.
In a lot of ways, this was his moment.
I don't think anybody minded seeing Kershaw up there. And this is unlikely because he's farther advanced in age than the two people I'm going to mention. But there have been a lot of Hall of Fame pitchers who at the end of their careers have just turned into a reliever.
Yeah.
Dennis Eckersley did it. John Smoltz did it. Eric Gagne did it. So that's an option, too, that if he doesn't want to go through the grind of ramping up to start, maybe you turn him into a reliever.
I have a shirt that says Kershaw saves because he did that against the Nationals.
The Nationals, I remember that really well. That was 2016.
Yeah, that was he pulled a Walker Buehler back then.
Yeah.
And came in. Now, they didn't win at all, so we forget about that. And that shirt just kind of seems random now.
Hey, Greg, who are the other not you, Greg. Greg, my engineer here is named Greg.
Hey, Greg.
Turned around like, what do you need?
Sup, Greg?
What do you need? Who else is a free agent? Flaherty, Teo. Who else?
Let's see. Flaherty, Teo, Kopech, I believe, is a free agent.
Kike?
Kike is probably
Kike's
kind of
always a free agent.
Kershaw.
Kershaw's
there's an option. There's a player option.
Okay. So he can come. He's probably going to pick that up. And then, you have to maybe CT3. I don't know.
No, he's got one more year. That's why he's
still on the team. I mean, so many of these guys are definitely.
That's absolutely right. I forgot.
I mean, wait. By the way, did anybody see Jason Hayward? Did he get to go to the parade?
I don't believe so.
I bet you he gets a ring.
I bet he does.
If you're on it, there was a guy that was on the Yankees and the Dodgers this year, and he's getting a ring.
Yeah, did you see that? A guy who split time between the Dodgers and Yankees. He was going to get a ring no matter what.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh God, he was only here. We picked him up from like Seattle.
Very briefly.
You know what? And those are the rings that end up on eBay later.
Well, that's okay. People like Janice and Laura will buy
Taylor Trammell. Yeah. Was with the Yankees and with the Dodgers.
He played in 5 games. He had 6 at bats, and that
Taylor
was it.
Trammell or Tyler?
Taylor
Trammell,
okay. Yeah.
How do we know that? From fantasy baseball.
Yes, that's exactly why. Exactly why. All right, get a quick break in here. Ireland's in Toronto. The Lakers versus the Raptors tonight. In the meantime, it is a Jim Beam Blues celebration. Friday, Momo's here. Bergman's here. Your calls. BC is here. Laura's here. It is a day to party. 710 ESPN.
710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a good karma brands radio station.
Hey kids, Uncle Artie here from Perennial Law, here to tell you about a newer sponsorship deal with Matt Barnes, who has deep LA roots, former Bruin and pro basketball player for both LA teams.
If you're looking for the best possible results after an accident, call my guy, Uncle Artie, at Perennial Law. And there's never any upfront fees. They collect when you collect. And for the record, their win-loss record puts them in the top of the standings. That's 844-DIAL-UNC. That's 844-DIAL-UNC.
Park, party, and play at Hollywood Park Casino, LA's premier card room. Now open 24/7. Play no-bust blackjack, poker, and more. Enjoy Century Bar and Grill's flavorful menu for lunch or late-night dinners. Watch your favorite teams and catch up with friends on game days. Unwind and enjoy live music and crafted cocktails at Ray's Lounge. Easy parking and access, Hollywood Park Casino. Located next door to the Forum and SoFi Stadium. Park, party, and play. Hollywood Park Casino. Elevate your game.
Must be 21 and older to enter. These are approved DOJ games. Vegas 004527. Vegas 003871.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Is your vehicle due for service? Is it time to get those wipers replaced? If so, head into your neighborhood Valvoline Instant Oil Change, home of the 15-minute drive-through oil change. For over 30 years, Valvoline has provided quick and convenient automotive maintenance services for busy people just like you. At Valvoline, you stay in your car safe while the expert technicians make sure your ride is at its best. Oil changes, wiper blades, and more. Just pull up, drive in, and drive out in about 15 minutes. Visit SoCalOilChange.com for locations and game-winning coupons off of your next Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Hey, it's Mace. There's a lot on the line in this election, from protecting the Social Security you've earned to supporting family caregivers. And you have the power to make the candidates listen, because voters 50 and over decide elections. That's why AARP California has created an election guide with the most up-to-date information about when, where, and how to vote. Get trusted election information at aarp.org/CA votes. That's aarp.org/CA votes. Paid for by AARP.
Lakers fans, have you seen the purple and gold live this season? You still have time to grab your seat with Lakers Ticket Exchange, the official resale marketplace of the Los Angeles Lakers. Your ticket purchase is 100% verified and secured with Lakers Ticket Exchange. Go to Lakers.com/ticket exchange on your computer or mobile device. Find your seats and you are set. That's Lakers.com/ticket exchange. Let's go, Lake Show.
Quiet down. Here she comes. Shh. Surprise! Your accountant just emailed to say your quarterly taxes are way higher than you were expecting.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Also, your favorite employee is leaving. They're going to pursue their dream of being a veterinarian.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Attention football fans, the season's heating up, and that means it's time for jaw-dropping plays, spectacular touchdowns, and memories that'll last a lifetime. So if you're looking to grab the best seats for all the excitement, Vivid Seats is your go-to playmaker. With an incredible selection of tickets and a game-changing rewards program, Vivid Seats is your ticket to every thrilling moment. Don't miss out. Experience it live with Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
It is Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. And we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
It's a Jim Beam Blue Celebration Friday. Mason, Ireland, Momo's here, Bergman's here, Ireland's in Toronto. We're all in the house. Ireland, not sure if you heard this or not yet, but this is Dave Roberts introducing Shohei a little while ago at Dodger Stadium.
We had a big goal in mind. That's to get the biggest fish of them all. I almost screwed it up. I'll tell you right now. Who was it? No, not Kiermaier. Not Kiermaier. Sorry. Casey, I love you, but no, not you. Who was to hear from Shohei Ohtani?
Voice cracking along.
Yes. Now we get to hear Shohei speak here.
This is so special for me movie.
Oh, speaking in English.
And then I'm so honored to be here and to be part of this team. Congratulations, Los Angeles. Thank you, fans.
All right.
Yeah, there's Shohei Ohtani with some English.
So this allows us to tell a story that we all know, that the four of us know, me, Greg, Momo, and Mace.
Okay.
That I never felt comfortable telling, but now Dave has outed himself.
Yes.
By saying I almost screwed it up. Here's what he's talking about. When Ohtani was a free agent, his camp. Dave, did you guys already tell this story?
No. My computer all of a sudden spoke. John, continue the story, John. I did not mean to interrupt. Yeah.
So Shohei's camp said, "Look, we don't want any leaks.
Yeah.
We don't want you guys talking about meetings. We don't want our business in the street. So if you want Shohei and we meet with you, keep the meeting quiet."
It was like the first rule of Shohei Club is don't talk about Shohei.
Right, exactly. That's a better way of putting it. It was a Fight Club rule.
Yeah.
So Dave Roberts did an interview, or was around, and Dave is so honest. They said, "Are you guys pursuing Shohei?" He goes, "Yeah, we just had a meeting with him and it went really great. He's a great guy." And privately, the Dodger bosses were furious.
So mad.
No, they really were nervous, and that was listen. Let's go back to the days when somebody reported that he was going to sign with the Blue Jays.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
I remember that.
And they were cursing Dave's name at Chavez Ravine.
Yes, because they had not been told.
Right.
Like, all the Dodgers were saying is, well, they haven't told us that we're out. So whatever that report is,
and remember,
it
people
could
were
be
tracking,
true. But
we're tracking planes to Toronto, and it turned out to be
right.
one of the Shark Tank guys.
Right.
It was all a decoy.
Yes.
Oh,
A decoy.
I see what you did there.
Remember
a
that?
deco pin.
Remember that when we wondered what Shohei's dog's name was?
Yes.
We finally
People
found
thought
out.
it was his dog's
And
name
people
was
were
Dodger.
people were nervous about asking that question.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Remember, like no, we can't ask questions like that. He wants everything buttoned up. And it all worked out in the end, and now we're all one big, happy world champion family.
Yes.
Do you think
But
that he's
that's
just
what
going to...
Dave was talking about when he said, I almost screwed it up.
Do you think he's going to loosen up this year? Like, now that he's won, Shohei? Do you think he's going to be like...
He's been
What
pretty
do
loose.
you think loosening up would look like?
I mean,
Well,
he's
like-
going to be at the clubs?
decoy to roll out the first pitch. That's pretty
Yeah?
loose.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, but like, you know, he's been hanging with Teo all year.
Yeah.
Teo's trying to get him. Like, is he going to start dancing?
Well,
is he going to start...
remember how the season started?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people thought he was getting suspended because of this
Oh, my
gambling
God.
thing.
I forgot about that.
And
Where's
so
Ipe?
I think,
In jail.
isn't Ipe awaiting trial?
If not already in jail. I mean,
I
Something
think
like
Ipe
that.
is awaiting trial. And
Hopefully
and
he
that's-
put money on the
guilty.
Dodgers' futures, you know.
So he didn't do a lot of
Sorry.
media. Shohei didn't do a lot of media because he knew that would be the first question. Like,
Oh, yeah,
what's going
for
on
sure.
with Ipe. Even late in the season, people would, and so they did a good job. The Dodgers did a good job of protecting him from having to talk about that. But Ramona, that might be why you think he wasn't loose. Is that they buttoned him up pretty tight after that gambling scandal.
Yeah, no, it's true. Who knows?
Boy,
Where that
this
guy
is a long
anymore.
year.
could you
I'm
imagine?
just thinking about all these things
Yeah,
that
I mean,
happened.
think all the way back to that. By the way, go into Shohei Ohtani's. as a little kid, he
Yeah.
dreamed of today.
Right.
As a little kid, he
Yeah.
wanted to win the World Series. That all fulfilled itself this week.
Do you remember that the Dodgers, when they pitched Shohei, showed him a video that they had Kobe Bryant record before he passed? And Kobe basically said, there's nothing like winning in L.A.
Yep.
That was his message. Like, you can go play wherever you want, but there's nothing like doing it for a franchise like this.
And by the way, if you do it in L.A., chances are you just set up the rest of your career.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And if you think about face of the Lakers, for example, well, the first face of the Lakers was Jerry West. How'd the rest of his life turn out?
Sure.
That's pretty good.
And then he handed it to Magic Johnson. How'd his post-playing days go?
He was on the field there.
Yeah, and then, they hand it to Kobe Bryant, and he was on his way to having a great post-career. Shaq is now on TNT and still doing 100 commercials. It really is a place where it's kind of like being the Cowboys quarterback. If you're the Cowboys quarterback, you have a job in broadcasting for the rest of your life.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Even if you're not very good at it.
Right.
Talk way too much.
Even if you talk too much, you still get the gig.
I mean, remember they took Jason Witten off the Cowboys
Sure.
and put him in the Monday Night Football booth?
Yeah.
So
They tried it.
And that's the difference, by the way, between playing for the Angels and playing for the Dodgers. Shohei was an unbelievable player for the Angels, but nobody saw him play.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he gets to the Dodgers, and all of a sudden everybody goes, okay, now we get it. And he wins a World Series in his first year.
Travis Rogers put out an amazing tweet after the Dodgers won the World Series. He said, "Congratulations to Shohei Ohtani for winning the World Series in his first season in the major leagues."
That is rough.
That's a
kind
full
of feels
shot.
like that, though.
That
doesn't
is
it?
rough. It feels like you just got
true.
here. Let's get one call in here before we go to break here. Let's go to Walter, who is in Hermosa Beach. Walter, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Long time, first time. I'm pretty excited. That parade, it's so amazing how it's generations, it's socioeconomic. It's like everybody is just all Dodger fans. It crosses every divide possible.
Yeah.
Right, and even culturally. I mean, you look out into that sea of people, and you see black, brown, white, Asian, I saw guys with yarmulkes. It's
rich guys, working class guys, women, grandmothers,
guys in ties, guys in pajamas.
Everyone.
Yeah,
I saw a lot of people in
everyone,
pajamas.
yeah.
It was early.
It was early.
Yeah, it kind of had the Rose Parade look on a lot of those people.
John, I talked to a guy that was from Tokyo. He flew out here because he bought tickets to Game 6. He flew out here.
Wow.
He got here when they won the World Series, and he bought a ticket to go back, a non-refundable ticket to go get right back on a plane and fly back to Tokyo. But he stayed because he wanted to see the parade. He came from Tokyo to L.A. just to see that. To see
I heard somebody on one of the morning shows we were doing call and say they're a Dodger fan in Northern California. They left last night at midnight and just drove down for the parade, and they're going back. Because the parade doesn't cost any money.
Right, correct.
You
This is as close as some people get to the Dodgers, is being on this parade route. By the way, 15 million people in Japan watched.
Wow.
The parade?
No.
Oh,
watched, not the parade. Watched.
I was like,
watched Game 5. 15
streaming
million
KTLA
people.
on.
Yeah, no,
someone very high up at the Dodgers told me that he thinks Shohei's going to pay for himself. In the first 2 years of this deal. In other words, they brought in so much revenue from Japanese companies. And they're able to market him internationally to a degree that the $700 million will actually be a bargain for the Dodgers. That's how big of a lightning rod Ohtani is.
If you're at Dodger Stadium, if you're at the stadium this year, pretty much all of those band ads around this, so many of them were in Japanese.
Yeah.
They were actually in, and Forest Lawn. Forest Lawn. Forest Lawn is always on at Dodger Stadium. It's like you must be at death's door if you go to the games.
You're in blue heaven.
In blue
So
heaven.
therefore, you're thinking about
Mace, that would not be a bad way for you to go.
Hell no.
If you when you go, whenever your number's up, if you go sitting at a Dodger game and they wheel you out of blue heaven. And
Yeah,
then
it's not bad.
hopefully straight to the real heaven.
Yes.
But
no, hopefully.
But that'd be a lot of Dodger fans would not mind
TBD on that for you.
Absolutely.
Being at a Dodger game when their number comes up.
All right, so we're going to get some more of your calls in. Momo's hanging out. Bergman's here. Ireland's in Toronto. BC's here. Laura's here. You know, apparently, I'm just getting news of this now. The election is Tuesday.
Yeah.
So,
Really?
Yeah. Didn't realize until I was asked to read this. Older adults are the most powerful voters in the country. AARP has got a long history of helping voters get the information they need without partisan spin. Here's what you need to know. You got your vote by mail ballot. You can use that. The register to vote date has passed, but Election Day is coming up on Tuesday. Polling places open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., and vote-by-mail ballots have got to be postmarked by November the 5th and received by November the 12th. Also, changes this year. State referenda will now ask, keep the law or overturn the law instead of just yes or no. And all polling places must offer curbside voting. Visit aarp.org/CA votes or text 22777 with the phrase CA votes for more information and resources. AARP, empowering you to vote for the future you want. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Hey, John Ireland here. Are you going through a life change? Whether you're downsizing, inheriting a home, or ready for a change, Seller's Advantage is here to make selling your home easy. They'll buy it as is with a competitive cash offer. No repairs, no hassle. With Seller's Advantage, you're in control. Close as quickly as you want and do it on your own terms. Check out their reviews online and call for a no-obligation offer at 888-390-AS-IS. That's 888-390-2747 or visit sellersadvantage.com.
Fresh off a Thursday night football win over the Minnesota Vikings, the Rams will be back for another primetime matchup under the lights from Monday Night Football as they take on the Miami Dolphins on November 11th. Bring the energy and pack the Rams house. You don't want to miss this electric primetime matchup. Tickets are on sale now at therams.com/MIA. Again, that is therams.com/MIA to watch your LA Rams face off against the Miami Dolphins November 11th at SoFi Stadium. See you at the Rams house.
Hey guys, it's Cappy. You've heard me talk about my personal situation with my divorce and subsequent custody battle in the past, and I know that you need a team behind you to get the justice you deserve. My friend Mark Reel and his team at Real Fathers Rights are here to help you guys. Visit realfathersrights.com/710. That's REEL, realfathersrights.com/710, or call 323-870-1611. That's 323-870-1611. Real Fathers Rights, the Father's Rights Attorneys.
Inspired by Southern California's laid-back yet active lifestyle, Travis Matthew creates premium men's and women's apparel designed to make you look and feel your best no matter the activity. Now, Travis Matthew brings that same style to USC fans with their first ever collegiate collaboration. Designed with the iconic Cardinal and Gold, this collection carries the tradition and legacy of USC. Gear up for game days and style. New customers get 20% off their first order with code 710 at travismatthew.com. That's code 710. Offer valid online only.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. At Los Angeles International Airport, changes are arriving daily to help reduce traffic, save travelers time, and transform the travel experience. The LAX Economy parking structure is now open with thousands of smart parking spaces, as well as hundreds of EV charging stations. Modernized terminals have biometric gates for faster boarding, and in the future, the People Mover train will connect travelers to LA Metro. For more information, go to their website, flylax.com/transforming-LAX. That's flylax.com/transforming-LAX.
It is Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. And we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
All right, Los Angeles. Gigantic parade today. By the way, I'm always curious about this. So the percentage of TV sets in Los Angeles that were on, what percentage of those were tuned to the closeout game the other night?
I would say
That's a good question. I'm going to say 37%.
I was saying 35. Yeah.
I'd say 39.
53%.
What?
53% of all television
That's
sets
amazing.
in use
In
were
use.
tuned to World Series
That's
Game 5.
amazing.
What else is on Wednesdays?
That's a massive number.
It was up against Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, Chicago, all those things they do.
Well, I was in Chicago.
Oh, you
and
were
we
in
were,
Chicago,
and we were watching it in
exactly.
the Bulls press room.
Yeah, there
I
you go.
literally I was like, you know what, Bulls magic. I've seen enough. I'm gonna go watch Game 5.
What were you working on at a Bulls Magic game?
Lonzo Ball. I was doing a story with Lonzo.
And he got hurt again.
He immediately got hurt.
Oh, did he get hurt?
It must be me.
She wrote a
It's
story
me. No, I
about
haven't written
Lonzo
it yet.
Ball's injuries, and you haven't even published it yet?
No.
Oh, you should hold it.
the
How
curse of
bad
Momo.
is the injury?
No, it's not bad. Come
That's-
on.
I heard it's like
say,
10 days.
They say maybe 10 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
geez,
so it's not.
still 10
But
days
he
is
did
10
the
days.
interview with me while he had the wrist thing, and I didn't know none of it. He didn't tell me any of that. And then later on, there was like, he's out for 10 days with the wrist because apparently they were like, he has to be out of here at 2. And I was like, okay. And I had no idea. Oh, he had an MRI too. I was like, oh,
so,
got it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Ireland, you're in Toronto. It's Lakers tonight, right?
Yeah.
Right, and they need to win this game because of the egg they laid in Cleveland.
Yeah, that was rough.
And Toronto's not very good, and they have a lot of injuries. So it is a game that is set up for the Lakers, but they've still got to go play it, and they still got to go win it.
What have you done in Toronto
already
for a
beat-
couple of days?
Well, we're here for actually 4 full days.
Oh, my God.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was just a weird quirk in the schedule, and the weather's great here. I love Toronto. Toronto's like New York, but cleaner. And so went to a great restaurant last night. Matter of fact, Mace went to a restaurant owned by the same woman who owns Felix in Venice.
Oh, fancy.
She's from Toronto, and the food was just as good as Felix. It was, like, super great. Like, make their own pasta. It's called Gusto. It was really good.
I ate at Felix once. I could get the 4 p.m. reservation on a Saturday.
It's a tough one.
Oh, the old 4 p.m. dinner. It's like my mom and my stepdad Leo.
3 hours later, you're still hungry.
Yeah.
Lisa Ireland can help you. She, but I can't. I have no connection, but Lisa can get you in there.
Let's sneak in a call. We're going all the way to Austin, Texas. Steven, you're on 710. Good afternoon.
Hey, beautiful Blue Friday to y'all. This was incredible. I am sitting here 1,500 miles away, not 100 rows deep. But what I can tell you is I am so damn proud to be a Dodger fan right now. The way our fans acted today, it makes my heart swell. Seeing Teo in tears, just the guys. I was there in '88. This absolutely was even better. I don't know if it's just this point of life, but incredible. If you're not a Dodger fan, if your heart's still not racing, you're dead. You're probably going to Forest Lawn.
Exactly.
So, anyways,
Exactly. Yeah, you're going to follow that billboard they got at Dodger Stadium. By the way, just got a note from Laura sent this over from Fabian Ardaya. Clayton Kershaw will undergo 2 surgeries on Wednesday. One to address his toe, where he's got damage from the bone spur, including a ruptured plantar plate. And the second is to repair the meniscus tear in his left knee. Timeline,
a meniscus
TBD.
tear. Ooh,
Yeah.
geez, so he has that too. Everybody's all banged up. Hey, remember we were talking about guys that are going to get rings?
Yeah.
These are the names of the guys that are going to get rings from the Dodgers.
Okay, let's hear it.
Kevin Biggio.
Oh, yeah, I remember him.
Nick Ahmed.
Okay.
Greg, are either one of those guys even still in the organization?
No, none of these are in their organization. They're all gone.
Yeah, a couple
They
of
all
these guys
left.
got DFA'd, right?
Yeah,
I think Biggio got DFA'd.
So Ahmed Rosario, who's been back and forth here 7 times, it feels like. Jason Hayward, which you talked about. James Paxton, who retired at the end of the year, too.
And was not terrible
No.
with the Dodgers. He had a winning record when they let him loose.
Ryan Yarbrough, who could give you 3 innings whenever you need it.
Whenever you need it.
Dinelson Lamet.
Oh,
who was there
I remember him.
Oh, my God.
From the beginning of the year.
He had 1 save.
Yeah, he did have a save. You're right.
Taylor Trammell that we
Taylor
talked about
Trammell,
before.
yeah.
Johan Ramirez, the guy that
I
Dave went
remember.
out there and gave him the hug.
And
because
then he came back and got a save the next game,
right,
didn't he?
because he was amazing for like the next week.
Yes,
and
he had
then
a
he
really
was
good
terrible
week.
after that. And Miguel Vargas. Miguel
Miguel
Vargas died
Vargas.
on the line of Chicago White Sox so we could get Michael Kopech
That's
and
right.
Tommy Edman.
That's right. And
Yeah,
by
those guys should all get rings.
They do.
By the way.
They do.
And you know the other and you can't give an award to a bullpen, but the bullpen for this Dodger team deserves whatever.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, I don't know where they'd be without the Braziers and Honeywell gave up 5 in that spot the other night.
I know, he wasn't so
But,
great.
I mean, you talk about Brazier and Brewster and all down the line, Evan Phillips and Blake Trine. And
Speaking of that.
Yeah.
Greg, you'll know this.
Okay.
Did Will Smith catch every postseason inning?
Every single postseason inning.
So
Austin
he
Barnes
needs to get some
never got in.
recognition here. You know, because all those pitchers kept changing, but he was calling a great game because that's weird for a catcher to catch every postseason inning when you win the World Series. Like, you know, Kershaw used to have a personal catcher, or they would play Austin Barnes when
Ellis.
Kershaw would pitch, AJ. But that's amazing that Will Smith played the hardest position and he played every inning.
And by the way, I saw a nugget that overall in the postseason, from beginning to end, catchers collectively batted lower than 200 this year. So the demands of being a catcher, calling games, handling the position defensively definitely hurt you offensively. Will Smith had a home run.
He had a home run
in the
in
World
Game
Series.
4.
Yeah.
In Game 4, when they were down 5-2, he made it 5-3.
Yeah. Let's go to Sean in Lomita. Sean, you're on 710. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I just want to tell you, I got a good story to share with you. I'm a teacher at an elementary school, and we had a Halloween parade yesterday, and I was DJing it. We went through all the different grade levels of kids. The last parade march was going to be the staff. And instead of playing Werewolves in London, we mentioned the Dodgers, and I broke out I Love L.A., and we marched around, and other parents were all out there. There was 1,000 people, and we all marched to I Love L.A., came in and took pictures wearing Dodger blue. It was a great, great parade.
That's beautiful, man. Thank you, Sean. Yeah, I mean, go ahead, John.
I was going to say, by the way, can I make a plea to television news directors in Los Angeles?
Okay, they all listen.
Yeah.
Don't just throw your news anchors into parade coverage assuming they're going to know what they're talking about, because they don't.
Right.
They actually should have hired, I mean, I don't know if ESPN will let you guys moonlight, but they should have hired Bergman, you and Mason and Beto and anybody at our building to help them. The only station, I flipped around all the channels, the only station that looked like to me that got it right was Channel 2. They had Pat Harvey, Jim Hill, and Steve Sachs.
Well,
And
I will speak out for
knew
Channel
everybody.
11. Alex Michelson, actually,
Yeah,
he
he
and
does
I
know
were
sports.
at the World Series together. Him and Marla Tellis were anchoring for Channel 11, and they definitely knew it was going. But you're right, John. They just throw people out there, say, here's a parade. They know nothing about the team, know nothing about the Dodgers.
Yeah, here's our morning news crew, people that don't watch baseball. Go do a live shot. And it's like, wow. You could, like Channel 2 got it right. They basically, and Alex, you're right, Mace. I watched some of Channel 11. Alex is a big sports fan, and he helped them out on several occasions.
Yes.
But the Channel 2, Pat Harvey is the best news anchor I've ever worked with. She's great live.
Great,
She can adjust to anything. So she was there, but she was leaning on. What Pat is really great at is she knows what she doesn't know.
Yeah.
So she constantly was deferring to Jim Hill and Steve Sachs, and they were saying, oh, look, there's Kike Hernandez. There's Freddie Freeman. That's his son. And then I would flip over to the other channels, and they're like just screaming at fans in the street, oh, where'd you come from? What's your name? Blah, 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 with no context of who the Dodgers were.
Right.
So that there's a way they can all improve. When we win it next year, they should hire you guys.
There you go. Let's
Love
do
it.
it.
Yeah.
Let's do it, Mace.
I'm for it. Momo, I wanted Laura. First of all, you saw somebody from local TV that was clueless.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say the channel.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Okay.
Do their call letters start with a K?
Oh my God.
Yeah, we won't put them on blast.
Is it under 7 or over 7?
I'm not gonna say
that's a good one. Yeah,
That is a good
No,
one.
but Laura, you know exactly what I'm talking about,
no.
right?
And the thing is, I felt like they.
Is it
they
between
didn't-
2 and 6?
They did not want to be there. You can tell that they were like, I gotta get this is work, and I just gotta spring through it. Because they just felt uncomfortable.
Okay, give me an example of like what was happening with the not knowing what to do.
They didn't know, Laura. I'm assuming that you saw the same thing I saw. They don't know who any of the Dodgers are. Momo.
Well, my thing is, I'm not gonna say that I heard. I was almost gonna say the person, but I didn't hear that person. Do the reports.
Yep.
But when they got into the news van, they were just very confused.
Right.
And just it felt out of place.
Okay, so let's get down to it. Is it over or under 4?
I'm
Channel,
not
channel,
gonna
is it
say.
over or under 4?
So
Not
I'll
gonna say.
call out the exact place. It was KCAL. There was a lady at KCAL that this is different than yours. I don't
Yeah,
know.
different
right.
than
No,
yours.
this
Different than
he's
yours.
throwing somebody
No,
else.
Craig's
under
just
the bus.
going right
No,
for
it.
I'm throwing
You're
this
just
person
going in
under
and
the
I'm
bus.
100 throwing
give me-
throwing
give
this
me
person
an
under the bus. I
example.
don't know what her name was,
Good.
but I was doing
Oh,
a
her.
shot with somebody, and they had one of those pennant flags from 1981, and I was interviewing her. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. Where'd you get it from? The lady from KCAL was trying to push a lady across the shot because she was standing there and didn't want us to get a good shot, so she kept pushing somebody to get into our shot. Why would you do that?
Yeah, no, it's a good question.
In any sense.
Good question. Laura, what about your channel?
And by the way, there are plenty of people around the city that know sports that they could hire for that.
And I'm saying again,
for that thing.
I'm sure she. Oh, I already said she.
Oh, she.
Might know,
It's the
but
same lady?
I was trying to not.
Initials?
No, but I just felt even what she did do really good, and I'll give her that because again, they know how to do hits. Was like, hey, I'm coming on. Get loud. You know, that was it. But you can tell that she just felt
Didn't know
uncomfortable.
what was going on.
She felt uncomfortable.
All right, Channel 5. All right. 7?
I don't know.
5. No,
3?
we aired 7. 7 was
Seven
good.
sounded
7
great.
was great.
9?
We carried
12?
7.
I don't know what it was.
All right, we're coming right back. It is officially a Jim Beam Blue Celebration Friday. And you can still jump on the phones with us, 877-710-ESPN. Ireland's in Toronto. We got Lakers versus Raptors coming up for you. In the meantime, let's say you're driving home from work tonight. You're ebullient over the parade. And you're driving home.
It's ebullient.
I call it ebullient.
Ebullient.
No, ebullient, isn't it?
It's ebullient.
Is it a correct use of a word, though?
I don't know, but I'm going to say it like I know.
So ebullient from the parade. And you're driving home, and then somebody texted on the phone. They hit you and cause an accident. So right away, you're sore. But your doctor's office is closed for the weekend, and you got to wait till Monday. And then when you call them, they are booked solid, and you can't get in for an appointment for another week. And suddenly you go 10 days without any treatment for your injury. Don't do this to yourself. If you're injured, call Jacob. Even Friday night, Saturday night, middle of the night, he's always there. He and his team will guide you, letting you know if you should go to urgent care or the emergency room, or they'll get you a doctor's appointment that Monday with a specialist in your area to get you back on the road to recovery without delay. So if you're injured in any kind of accident, do not wait. Call Jacob for a free consultation. Let him help you. When you call an attorney, you want one who is respected. Call Jacob. He's the real deal. 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. 844-24-JACOB. Or remember...
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
CallJacob.com. Jacob, a proud partner of the Rams, the Lakers, and LAFC. And when you call him, make sure you tell him Mason and Shadano from 710 ESPN sent you. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Hey, guys, it's Cappy here, and I want to talk about my friend Avner Gatt, a public adjuster. Now, many of you guys have asked me, why Avner Gatt? What makes his team so unique at handling insurance claims? So let me tell you something. I've been working with Avner and his team for a while. I can tell you this. Avner Gatt has a dynamic team that's highly effective and successful because these folks come from a very diverse background in the insurance industry. For example, some of them used to work for insurance companies before they joined Avner's team. Yes, they actually chose to switch sides when they realized the effectiveness of Avner's team's work. Some of them used to be in the restoration business, rebuilding homes after disasters. Some of them used to be in the contents handling business, moving homeowners' belongings to a safe place for restoration and storage. Some of them were experts in hazardous materials handling, like asbestos and lead testing. That was their daily work. And some of them were members of law firms handling bad faith claims and general business disputes. You see, diversification is the name of the game. When you are represented by Avner Gatt's team, you have the entire team's experience and know-how by your side. No one, and I mean no one, messes with Avner Gatt and his team. So call Avner Gatt right now, 818-917-5256, 818-917-5256. That's AvnerGatt.com, AVNERGAT, AvnerGatt.com. When you call him directly, Avner Gatt and his family, they take the calls themselves. Avner Gatt says, hello.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change, home of the 15-minute drive-through oil change, is a proud sponsor of your MLS champion LAFC radio broadcast on 710 ESPN. For over 30 years, Valvoline Instant Oil Change has provided quick, convenient maintenance services for busy people. Oil changes, tire rotations, transmission care, and more. Just pull in to your neighborhood location and you'll be out in no time with your ride in peak performance. Visit SoCalOilChange.com for locations and to score game-winning coupons off your next Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Go LAFC.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Come on, Dan. Finish the set strong. I can't. I've really fallen off in the gym since I turned 40. I just can't push through like I used to.
Could it be lower testosterone?
Lower T?
It happened to me when I turned 40. When you hit 40, your body has less testosterone. So I got Nugenix Total T, and it changed the game for me.
Nugenix? I've seen that on TV.
For over a decade, Nugenix has helped guys boost their testosterone levels, making it easier to trim up and stay lean.
Nugenix really changed things for you?
I'm lifting like I did in my 20s, and it's not just at the gym I feel better. It's at work and the bedroom.
I want to try Nugenix.
We're giving out complimentary bottles for people to try.
Text ACTIVE to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help get you back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text ACTIVE to 321-321. That's ACTIVE to 321-321. Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
It is Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. And we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
In Toronto, me, Momo, Bergman, BC, Laura, all here in LA on the day of a championship parade.
And they stay there.
And online right now, his dad tore up Dodger Stadium today with another great performance. Ice Cube was on the money today, really got the crowd going, and O'Shea Jackson Jr. was there with him. Shea, what was it like in there, man?
Oh man, it was great, dude. The crowd was electric. You know, I was able to go to the Laker parade in 2009, and it had that same championship feel. And it's always great when you get to be there when your dad kills it. So man, I had the time of my life.
Shea, did he rehearse that at all? The walk in from center field, or was that just off the top of his head?
Oh no, he's a professional. He definitely took his time. He knew what he wanted to do, and he executed it perfectly. And, yeah, it's definitely a great moment for the family. And it got us a championship. I mean, what else
It was a long walk.
Yeah.
Like, that's a long ways to go.
Yeah.
I was at
Bow
game
Down's
two.
not a short song.
No.
No. So the one thing people don't realize about O'Shea is you can talk hardcore baseball with him.
That's
and
right.
He really gets
He
it.
knows the warps and the vorps.
Right, Shea? You know, you're a big analytics guy, right?
Yeah, you guys know me, man. I've always said baseball needed more dunks and touchdowns, but I tell you,
Hey,
right now,
Shea.
I'm loving the game right now.
Shea, I did a podcast last week with a Laker fan. You know what the name of the podcast is?
Oh, tell me that.
Lakers in 5.
Hey!
I told him he's got to get, and this was before the Dodgers won in 5. But I told him he's got to get you on his show. I said this podcast is not complete. He either has to pay you a royalty or invite you on the show, one or the other.
Absolutely, man. That was such a great time. Let him know. Give him my information. I'm down to get on.
Well,
All right,
Shea has a podcast, a wrestling podcast.
Oh, right, Shea, you've got a new podcast. We were just talking about this. Describe your podcast.
Yeah, I got the No Contest Wrestling Podcast. It's part of the Rich Eisen Network. We just had our third guest, the legendary Mark Henry. That's out now on wherever you listen to your podcast, and also on YouTube if you want to watch it. But yeah, it's been great. I get to meet some legends, some current stars, and we're going to make that a big thing.
Woo!
Hey, Shea, so you sent me a picture earlier this week. You got a Dodger championship belt. Did you take it to Dodger Stadium? Are you going to bring it in here sometime next week?
Oh, I'm definitely going to bring it down to the station. I took it to the parade. If there's one thing about me, I'm going to gloat about a championship. So I knew as soon as the series really got into our favor, I didn't want to jinx. I'm really into the sports god. But I got the belt with me right now. It's laying across my lap, and it will be at 7:10 very soon.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Well, we wanted to check in with you because I know you were there, and your dad just killed it today. Tell him, give him our congratulations, and thanks for coming on. Go Dodgers!
Of course, man. Happy birthday to Fernando and to all the Padres fans. The reason why the Padres play at Petco Park is because they get dog walked every year.
Taking a shot on his way out the door, O'Shea Jackson Jr. That's funny.
Only he can do it that way.
Only he can do it that way.
All right, so you guys, I'm here in Toronto, and Alex McKechnie's here. He's
Oh,
over here
yeah,
saying hi
I
to
love
us. Hi,
Alex, yeah.
He just may have come up with the greatest nickname for Michael Thompson that I've ever heard.
Okay.
Snacks.
You ready?
Yeah.
He calls him the Olympic torch. You know why?
Why?
He never goes out.
That's a good one, too.
Yeah, that's very funny. That's very funny. I'll tell you what. Why don't Momo wrote a game? It's Dodgers related. Why don't we finish with Game of Games? Yeah, let's do it. We'll do it coming up next.
Ramona, is the game any good?
Maybe.
It's about the Dodgers, right? It's about the Dodgers.
I figured just stick with the Dodgers and people will like it.
Good call.
Yeah.
Good call.
Just lean in.
We'll do it coming up next. It'll be our first game for the month of November.
All
and
right.
I intend to win this month. This is my month.
You all have
November
a good shot.
is always a good Mace month. All right. If you ever have trouble finding your favorite team's game, and by the way, who hasn't at this point? You're looking for that game you've been waiting for, and then there are so many channels and streaming services, and now there's no more searching, no more hunting. Where to Watch has got you covered. Where to Watch is a brand new feature. You can find it on ESPN.com and on the ESPN app. Where to Watch is a one-stop shop with one-click access to ESPN network streams and all other networks. Tens of thousands of events, NFL, college football, college hoops, NBA, MLB, NHL, so much more. Where to Watch is available now on the ESPN app and at ESPN.com. You can access it from any web browser, ESPN.com/where to watch. That's ESPN.com/where to watch. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Hey, football fans, what's better than cheering on your team with an ice-cold glass of Stella Rosa in hand? How about scoring the ultimate experience at the biggest college football game of the season with an ice-cold Stella Rosa in hand? That's right, Stella Rosa is giving you the chance to win 2 tickets, airfare, and a hotel for you and a friend. So what are you waiting for? Head to ESPNLADreamTicket.com to enter. Courtesy of Stella Rosa, America's favorite semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine. Celebrate responsibly. Must be 21 or older to enter.
Lakers fans, take the purple and gold with you wherever you go by downloading the Lakers app, presented by BBGO. With the Lakers app, get the latest team news, live updates, in-game highlights, photos, and more. Available in the App Store for free. Don't miss any of the action as the season continues. And always be game day ready. The Lakers app has you covered. Download now to your iPhone or Android. Let's go, Lake Show.
Hey, it's Mace. There's a lot on the line in this election, from protecting the Social Security you've earned to supporting family caregivers. And you have the power to make the candidates listen, because voters 50 and over decide elections. That's why AARP California has created an election guide with the most up-to-date information about when, where, and how to vote. Get trusted election information at aarp.org/CA votes. That's aarp.org/CA votes. Paid for by AARP.
Congratulations, Los Angeles! World Series champions! Get to Dick's Sporting Goods for a huge selection of officially licensed Los Angeles Dodgers gear, including hats, t-shirts, hoodies, and more for the whole family. So get to Dick's Sporting Goods now for the best selection of officially licensed apparel and accessories in town. We have everything you need to show off your team pride. Shop in store or online at Dicks.com. Every season starts at Dick's.
710 ESPN.
And it is time for Game of Games on the #1 sports radio show in L.A., Mason and Ireland. Game of Games. Game of Games presented by CallJacob.com.
Call Jacob.
Everyone loves a fighter, but in this town, winning matters, especially after an accident. So remember, anyone can fight, but CallJacob.com is here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to CallJacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. We got the jingle.
Call Jacob.
Thank you. Game of Games time. Take it away, Mace.
All right, here we go. It is Game of Games time. We're going to do it in a second. First, Laura, you got something.
Yes, we usually have on Matthew Berry on Fridays, but since we had a Dodgers celebration, he will come back next week. But every time he's on with us is brought to you by Fantasy Springs. Stay and play at Fantasy Springs Resort Casino, just minutes from Palm Springs. Get your tickets to exciting live shows or book your stay today at FantasySpringsResort.com. Brought to you by Fantasy Springs Resort Casino.
Excellent. And Matthew will be back next week. Ireland's in Toronto. It's Momo's game today on a celebration Friday.
Yeah.
Momo, what do you got cooking?
And I felt like, in honor of the Dodger bullpen, which
bullpen
really
dogs.
was the reason why they won this World Series, we are going to do the hometowns of where these guys are from.
Okay.
So I'm going to name a player, and then I'm going to give you 3 choices of where they're from.
Okay.
All right? Who wants to keep score?
I can do it.
Ireland. Yeah,
Ireland, you got it.
Ireland
Okay.
is the best
We
at
all
keeping
jumped.
score.
I
I'm
know.
clueless.
Me too. I can read the questions, but hard to also keep score.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, got it. Okay, ready? Number 1, Anthony Banda. Is he the pride of Tucson, Arizona, Corpus Christi, Texas, or Grants, New Mexico? Mason, you're up first.
Grants, New Mexico. Bergman.
New Mexico.
Laura.
Was Arizona one?
Tucson, Arizona,
Tucson.
Corpus Christi, Texas, or Grants, New Mexico?
All right, Arizona.
Arizona.
All right, Brian?
BC?
Texas.
And Ireland.
I'm with Brian, Texas.
It is Corpus Christi, Texas.
Oh, I
All
just
right.
thought that New Mexico town was a weird one to make up.
If Ireland's
That's actually
keeping-
where my dad was from.
If Ireland is keeping score, it's best if he runs.
He calls
who
them
to-
out. Yeah, he
Okay.
calls them out.
All right, sounds
Okay.
good. Number 2, Bruzdar Gratterol. Is he from Calabozo, Venezuela, Maracaibo, Venezuela, or Guayana City, Venezuela?
Well, since
First
we don't
up-
know any of those towns.
Yeah.
Laura.
Calabozo, Maracaibo, or Guayana City?
The second one.
Okay.
I don't know what the second one was, but that one.
Okay.
Maracaibo.
That one.
Okay. You're calling it out.
Greg.
Calabozo.
Okay.
Mace.
Guyana City.
I'm with Greg. Calabozo.
And Brian.
I'm with Mace, the city.
It is Calabozo.
Oh, we got it. We got
Sounded
it.
like a made-up town.
Yeah, I know. Some of these are.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Brett Honeywell Jr. Is he from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, Cold Spring, South Carolina, or Augusta, Georgia?
I'll go first. I'll say Augusta, Georgia, since that's where the Masters is.
Okay.
Brian.
Tennessee.
Greg.
South Carolina.
Mace.
Tennessee.
Laura.
Georgia.
The answer is Augusta, Georgia.
Augusta, Georgia.
Really?
Wow.
I figured that.
All right, Laura, just me and you, or did anybody else go Georgia?
No, just you and
Just
just
you
you
and
and
Laura.
Laura.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Ryan Brazier. Is he from Tyler, Texas, Wichita Falls, Texas, or Denton, Texas?
Mace.
Denton, Texas.
I'll go Wichita Falls. Brian.
Wichita Falls.
Laura.
Denton.
Denton. Greg.
Show me Denton.
The correct answer is Wichita Falls.
Boom.
North
Ireland's
Texas.
getting all these.
North Texas.
So random
I got
and
one.
still win.
Somebody else got that
Brian.
too.
Yeah.
Brian got it.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
I thought Ireland would get the Texas one because he worked there. Okay. Evan Phillips. Is he from Salisbury, Maryland, Bethesda, Maryland, or Glen Burnie, Maryland?
I'll go first. I think Glen Burnie is too weird to make up. I'll take Glen Burnie. Brian.
Salisbury.
Okay.
Laura.
Bethesda.
Bethesda. Greg.
Well, because you laugh so much over it, I'm going to go with the one that Ireland went.
Yeah,
with.
I'm going with Glen Burnie also.
Yeah.
What is it, Laura?
It's Salisbury, Maryland.
You fooled
Brian,
me
you
with your
got
laugh.
that?
I did, yeah.
Brian got it.
I just made up Glen Burnie. I don't know if that's a real place.
It worked.
Okay.
I thought it was too weird to make up.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's skip on down to Ben Camparius, okay? Kasparius.
Yeah.
Sorry. That was autocorrect. Is he from Bristol, Connecticut, Norwalk, Connecticut, or Fairfield, Connecticut?
This one is Brian.
Bristol.
Laura.
In honor of our station, Bristol.
Greg.
I don't think you can actually live in Bristol. What are the other two?
Aaron Hernandez lived in Bristol.
Aaron Hernandez
Yeah,
is
Aaron
from
did.
Bristol. Yeah.
Woj grew up in Bristol.
No, the second one.
Okay, Norwalk.
I'm going Bristol.
Okay.
And what was the third? What's one that wasn't Norwalk and wasn't Bristol?
Fairfield.
I'll go Fairfield.
The answer is Norwalk.
Yeah, let's go. I got on the board again.
Greg, you have 2 now. Mace, you don't have any.
Do I not?
Keep going, Mace. I need it gone.
Oh, right. Okay, so I got
I
a
have
chance
9
to,
total.
I have
okay.
a chance to get them all wrong.
So how many are left?
Get the Mason.
9 total. We have 1, 2, 3 left.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay,
come on,
ready?
Mace.
Leaders
All right,
go
so
first.
here's the score. John 4, Brian 3, Greg 2, Laura 1, Mace 0.
Okay.
right, here we go.
Landon Knack. Is Landon Knack from Johnson City, Tennessee, Alexandria, Virginia, or Hampton, Virginia?
This one is
Ireland.
Laura.
Ireland, the leaders go first. 3 left.
Oh, the leaders go first. So I will go. There's 3 left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, give me. I'm sorry, Ramona. Give me
Johnson
3 again.
City, Tennessee, Alexandria, Virginia, or Hampton, Virginia?
I will go Alexandria, Virginia.
Okay.
Brian.
Johnson City, Tennessee.
Okay, Laura.
Go Tennessee.
All right, Greg.
Hampton.
Mace.
Hampton for the loss.
Yep, that is
Ramona?
for the loss. It's
Oh,
Johnson City,
dang it.
Tennessee.
There you go.
Oh, Brian, you caught me.
Yeah, let's go.
Did anyone else get
I
that
did.
besides Brian? Okay,
Yeah,
Laura
Okay,
Orcas.
we got 2 left.
All right.
Do you want Michael Kopech or Alex Vesia?
What?
Well, there are 2 of them.
yeah.
So
Well, we're
I'm
going to
still
have to
2
play
back.
them both.
Yeah, you're going to play them both.
So-
All right, we're
yeah,
going Kopech. Is he from
Okay.
Mount Pleasant, Texas, Odessa, Texas, or Waco, Texas?
Brian, this one is you because you caught me.
Let's go Waco, Texas.
Okay.
I'm going to go a different one. What are the other 2, Momo?
Mount Pleasant, Odessa, or Waco?
I will go Odessa. Laura.
I will go Waco.
Greg.
Mount Pleasant. I have to go Mount Pleasant.
Mace
I
for
will
the
go
loss.
Waco for the loss.
Oh, darn.
It's Waco for the loss. It's Mount
Is it
Pleasant.
Waco?
Yay!
It's
I'm
Mount Pleasant.
alive. I'm alive.
It's Mount
One
Pleasant.
back.
You're so funny.
Oh for
All
8.
right, Greg, are you the only one who got that?
I'm the only one who got that.
All right, so this is the last one.
is so funny.
Laura and Mace are out, but Mace has to answer because he's going for the.
I do have a bonus question,
I'm
too.
going for the Romo. I'm
Okay.
trying to take it away
All
from
right,
her.
Alex Vesia. Is he from El Dorado, California, Sacramento, California, or Alpine, California?
Alex Vesia is from California.
That is true.
Yes.
El Dorado, Alpine. What was the middle one?
Or Sacramento.
Sacramento. Okay.
So this I could win.
All in the same
Brian,
area
you
of
could go the same one
California.
as me. Let's see. I hate Sacramento. I'll go Alpine. Brian.
I believe it is Alpine.
Greg.
Well, I have to go different, so I'll go El Dorado.
Laura.
It is Alpine.
Okay, Mace. That if Laura's right, go a different way.
Sacramento for the loss.
Sacramento for the loss. It's Alpine.
Ah, it's finally gone.
Nice.
Way to go,
So
Mace.
the winner is.
I don't know
It's
who
a
won.
tie between Brian and I. Do you have a
okay.
tiebreaker?
Oh,
Yeah, I have a
tiebreaker,
tiebreaker.
okay.
Okay.
The state with the most Dodgers. Okay? State with the most Dodgers. I'm going to give you multiple choice. Okay?
These are like hometowns of the Dodgers?
No, just states. Like the most Dodgers are from this state.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Is it California, Texas, or the Dominican Republic?
Brian.
Give me Texas.
That's what I think too. Ramona, do you have a different one, or should I just go a different answer?
Pick a
I'll
different
go,
answer. Why not?
I'll go
I don't have
California.
another one.
Okay, I'll go California. What's the answer?
It's a good thing you did. It's California.
Oh, Ireland for the steal.
I could have said like
you-
how many
you
are there,
kinda
but that's
handed
kind
it
of
to
hard.
me.
That's the boy. Yeah.
So
I was
from
like, I
now,
don't know.
So Ireland with the win. He's up 1-0 in November, and from now on, whenever anybody goes on a losing streak in these games,
And this
you're
is
going
everything?
for the full mace. The full mace.
Love
Can we
it.
take out
Did
any
you-
Pepe or Michael game from that because those games are so hard?
I think they are such good games. I am always in the mood for a good potpourri.
Well, I think, Greg, is there a Laker home game on Friday?
Oh man.
Let's check it out.
I think there is.
Check it out.
Next Friday,
A week from today.
A week from today, yeah, there's a Laker home game versus Philly.
All right, so would you guys rather
that's a good
have
one.
Michael or Pepe do that game?
Potpourri!
Potpourri alive!
Yes.
You guys want Pepe?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so we got about a minute left.
How was that game? What'd you think?
Ireland, I thought it was fine.
Yeah?
It was pretty good, Momo.
Tee up, Ireland, what we're going to expect tonight. We got 45
They better
seconds.
win. Yeah, Toronto's 1-4.
No
and
Scotty Barnes.
All their best players are hurt. Yeah, no Kelly Olynyk, no Scotty Barnes. This is a game no Brett Brown. They have to win.
Bruce Brown.
Bruce Brown, thank you. Brett Brown was the coach, right?
Yeah.
So Mace, they should win this game, and if they don't, they have no chance at a winning road trip because after this we go to Detroit and then to Memphis. So this is a game.
Detroit's kind of good this year, right?
They're better.
Okay.
I wouldn't call them good. They're better.
Ireland have a good call of the game. Thanks to everybody all over the station today. Momo, Bergman, Brian, Morales, Laura, Travis, DeMarco. Everybody was out on the streets today. Shay was out. Yeah, I mean, everybody.
Did you just say thank you to Morales?
Yeah.
What?
He was great.
He was great.
7
he
to
was great all day long.
1 o'clock.
See you next week, 710 ESPN.
Hey, John Ireland here. If you want to sell your home, call Seller's Advantage. Everyone has different reasons for selling. Some people want to downsize and move.